Do you see any policy gaps or legal issues that are stifling economic growth within the digital space? And you can also speak to that issue that came up last week in court.
I would say that he had to see that somewhere else. He didn't just come and break the internet with what he said. There are people who've been continuously speaking as he has. And I would say even to some degree, I have been bullied by mainstream media. And there's also been like a publication by a very reputable newspaper that said some defamatory things about me that were not true, and they have continued to exist without any kind of repercussions. They didn't face any kind of. I did not take it to court because it's going to be a long process. It's going to be tedious to me. It's going to be very financially costly to me. It's also going to be very emotional for me. So that reputable mainstream media has decided to go and take information from what I would say Kenyeji media, Kenyeji sources, just going from somebody else's tweet and being like, oh, this and the other was said here and therefore it must be true, and taking that and publishing it on a newspaper. It's defamatory. I would say it's cost me friendship, relationship. It's cost me myself, me. And also, I would also like to point out about my mental health and also my colleagues' mental health. It's like people in this space are not allowed to exist as people, I would say I started as a storyteller. And so when I was new, everyone was excited about me and everyone was like, oh, wow, did you see Chike Nyambura's latest story time? And I would have told a story that was just like, that had just happened a year before. So it sounds like it's from a past life, but now that it's happening on the ground, it becomes everybody is involved kind of story. So everyone else wants to be involved. Everyone has something to say. Why can't it be that I'm existing as a human being and my thing is private and whatever I've intended to be private is actually private, as compared to people coming to pry into my business? It's different when I bring a story to the table to when someone comes to me and tries to pry open and find a story, dig in and just like forage into the bag and here's a story here, look. And they're trying to actually embarrass you. So I would say the media has had a hand in trying to publicly embarrass, even with the titles that you see on newspapers and on articles online. The articles have outrageous titles.
Right.
Like I would say, I had, on Instagram where you have a question tag and people send you questions, and you answer. Someone said something about they intentionally infected someone else with HIV on my question tag. And I was like, oh my God, that's crazy. So I reposted it and I was like, that's insane. And also it's a criminal offense. So that's not allowed. But the next day I woke up to publications like, I intentionally infected someone with HIV and my photo is right there and I'm there and I'm like, first of all, I don't have HIV, one. And then in fine print it's written, J.K. Nyambura fans are telling her in her question tag. It's in fine print. People who are far-sighted can't see.
Yeah.
It's just saying, J.K. Nyambura, I intentionally infected someone else with HIV, which I do not have. But then the next morning when I wake up and I'm living my life and I'm intentionally living and creating and being myself, there's thousands and hundreds and tens of comments of randoms being very intrusive and saying very defamatory things.
And having an opinion.
And having an opinion and no consequence.
Right.
And me reacting to that, I'm on my third Instagram account. I've been losing accounts. In the last 2 years, I've lost 2 accounts. Although I still have 50 something K followers now, and I've been on for 6 months, I would say it's because of who I am and how I keep watering myself.
Yeah.
And now I keep saying that I'm the one who's creating. Okay. I'm the one with the product. Let me bring in Wajiro. Go ahead. From Fumbua. She's mentioned something there, misinformation, defamation, and how it's affected her as a person. But speak to it, because this is in your purview and you look at it on a daily basis, you follow it, misinformation, defamation, how it affects the creators, content creators, their work. I'm sure they interact with you, or at least you intervene in 1 or 2 cases as Fumbua.
Yeah, and it's very, I'm glad you've asked that question, because I was just thinking about, fine, we do a lot of training with regards to digital resilience and digital hygiene, and digital safety, and those are fantastic things. They're within our programs. It's important that people know how to protect themselves online. But what I was thinking about as Nyambura was talking was, how do we, what can we do collectively about this, especially the gender disinformation? Because it really annoys me that you can wake up in the morning and you're trending because you posted a picture of yourself in a bikini. And I'm like, listen, I really, there's something that Esther Passaris did. I think it was sometime when she was first running for governor, and she was really harassed, she was really being harassed by online, this www. I don't want to mention the whatever, but www.johntenulembaya.com, whatever. And what she did is that she sued this publication. And if you Google Esther Passaris, you will not find any online I'm not talking about Twitter accounts or Facebook accounts. I'm talking about online publications. They don't talk nonsense about Esther Passaris, because she put a stop to it through legal action. And so just to reference the case of Aziad, I was really happy when she went the court route. I mean, how she went to court it's another conversation, not for this newsroom, but really, but the fact that she went to court, I'm happy about that part, because it means that there's something, like she's doing something actively. Yeah. And I was wondering, is there anything, and I speak, as Fumbua and as Baraza authoritatively, because Maurice is here, is there anything we can do? I mean, the digital lessons and everything are important. You learn how to protect your account, etc., whatnot. But also, is there more we can do, like the legal way, not legislation, but just liwe funzo? Yeah. We are getting a class action against this group of people, and we're going to court, namtajua mjui, just because we can't be talking every day about people being afraid to express themselves, because someone who lives in somewhere is going to post and is going to organize people on Telegram to come and insult you. I mean, something has to be done beyond that. I love the trainings, because it's important, but also beyond that, how do we put a stop to this? Yeah. How do we set precedents that you can't just wake up and insult someone? Gotcha.
I just want to give a chance to those who haven't spoken. I see some 2 hands popping up here for the audience. If someone from the technical team can get a mic there, as many hands popping. Kennedy Kachwanya, you need to speak first as the chairman of Kennedy. This is coming to you. The mic will also go to them, because we were to get into the patterns and the trends, AI and whatnot, but as a chairperson of the Blog Association of Kenya, you have at least some visibility on these developments, legally or otherwise, not just locally, but also in the region. You could give us some context, just as has been shared by Grace, on issues such as this and how far we have come. And then we can get the reactions to this particular sensitive issue that we brought up.
Yeah, thank you, Mark. So I'll start with something that Grace mentioned. I think the Computer Misuse and Cybercrime Act, we are still in court. We lost the first part, yes, but it's still in court, so we appealed. So it's still an ongoing process. When you look at the act, obviously there are good things about it, and we didn't complain about the good things. We complained about some of the bad things. And I think what Njiro was trying to talk about, like the way Brian was arrested, of course, the question came in mind is that criminal or civil? obviously defamation is civil. So if I say something bad about you, like what she's saying, I think that's probably fall under civil case. The only problem we have is people tend not to go to court because of the long process and cost. And I think if we can, you know, now like the policy, like Grace was saying on the policy front,
yes,
if we can find a way that that process become cheaper and, you know, faster, it'd be good. And also on the mainstream media, I think there's also something that you can also use, we call Media Complaint Commission.
Yes.
Through Media Council, which is not as expensive as the cost profess. Actually, it's free. So I would advise her, at least on this specific case, because she's talking about the mainstream media, at least to also try that. You don't need to do much. I mean, just report and then allow them to now follow it up. This is not court. So I'm saying court is a long process, and that we need to find a way that it can be faster. But there's Media Complaint Commission, especially when you say it's a mainstream media. So they should deal with that. They should deal with that. They should not just leave it to just complain to them. I think you can write, yeah.
And also something else, I just want to say something. The media
get him a mic, get him a mic, get him a mic. I know he has a deep voice, but what's your mic?
So anyway, I just want to clarify something. So the Media Complaints Commission, it's part of the Media Council of Kenya. The Media Council of Kenya is a government agency. So the Media Complaints Commission, it deals with all media. So let's say, for instance, if you can prove that someone actually creates news, it doesn't matter for what platform. It can be YouTube, it can be Instagram, it can be TikTok, whatever. You can go there and you can actually complain for anything. And the process is free. Just go Google Media Complaints Commission, Media Council of Kenya. Everything is free. Our former president, I went and complained and he got a judgment. So they can either give you money or they can ask those guys whoever has said something that's untrue, they can ask them to apologize or retract or whatever.
Gotcha. So Kachani, just finish your points. I want to open it to the people, and then in almost a creative way, call me creative or not, but because I was to ask about the trends and I wanted Rahab and Kachwana to deal with it, I'll start with Rahab, but this will be like a conclusion because I want to bring in the people who have questions so that we don't lose the questions that they have. So continue.
So I hope that could help, at least in some of these instances where people feel the process is long, and the court process is it's not going well.